Today we're with Paul from PaulWorldZoom. Welcome to the channel, Paul.
Yeah, Mike, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Hey everybody, I'm Mike.
And I'm Janet.
And welcome to our channel, Mike's Philippine Retirement. Now let's get to today's video. Name of your channel is?
It's PaulWorldZoom, and we started just about the same time, I think last August. Is that right?
Yeah, about
August
7 months.
Yeah, for having me on.
Usually I don't invite good-looking guys, just good-looking girls, but today I wanted to talk to you about people who say they can live in the Philippines for $800 or $1,000 a month. What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, I mean, I certainly couldn't and can't. You know, I've said just in a video I did yesterday that I'd set my budget at $1,600, and I've never made it, not one time, so I changed it to $2,000 just because that reflected what I was really spending on a monthly basis. But I do have friends, and I've done videos on that $1,000 and $1,100 budget. I have a friend that's walking around here right now that swears he lives on $1,000. So I really do think it can be done. You know, I just think there's some things.
What you want to do?
Yeah.
Do you want to exist that way?
Yeah, I mean, they certainly eat at home versus you know, coming out. They limit their entertainment amount. They're limited on doing those things. You know, they can usually find a decent place to live. I know in the case of this gentleman, he just spends $250 US a month for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. So, you know, that's not too bad. So I think there are areas in the Philippines that you really could pull that off, but it gets harder the more you get into the expat areas.
More of a Western style living.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people say that in Dumaguete, Valencia, everything's so expensive because we're here. The foreigners that come here and we're driving the prices up.
Yeah.
Is that something that you see?
I do, actually. Yeah, I think that, you know, when you go to some of the places that the expats aren't as heavily populated, you know, outside of BGC or Ayala Alabang or Makati, or out of the IT Park and Mactan and Cebu, then the prices go down, you know, pretty rapidly. If you look at like an Iloilo City, it's, in my opinion, significantly less than Dumaguete for a similar type of lifestyle. And I just think that goes hand in hand with the number of expats that are coming in. I mean, when I first came after the COVID situation, you know, there were many things for rent and available, and there still are, but it's less and less, and it feels like the price is actually going up incrementally. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Yeah, we hear the rental videos sometimes, and they're hard to find what people would call economy type rentals, you know, the 10,000, 15,000 peso a month, fully furnished. You know, you can find the unfurnished unit. But don't you find, like an Iloilo, it's less, but there's less choices too. They don't have as many Western style houses there, or am I wrong in thinking that? You know,
they have a main area downtown that's by, you know, like their festive walk, that's more condominiums. And so the expats that I see there are more in the condominium style living, different than what we have in Dumaguete, where we really don't have any. You have to go to like Spatial Marina to do the condo living. So here, you know, it's apartments or, you know, smaller single family homes. Iloilo City, you know, it's a much bigger city, and so if you are leaving the downtown area, you have, you know, some traffic and some commute issues if you want to go to the mall, because it's a bigger population. And so if you get out in the suburbs, you know, it's a 20-30 minute trip, you know, to come into the malls in the city. But you're right, there, you know, this area definitely caters to the expats when you think about Bacong and Darwin and Valencia.
Now, people who live in condos up in that area, the condos are small. You know, it's like the new apartments that I see, and even Marina condos here in Dumaguete, they're only 50 square meters or something. They're small units.
Yeah, and that's by far the largest. They actually have a 2-bedroom, 1-bath that's only 24 square meters.
You know,
I don't know how you get well, I've been in the unit, so I know how they do it. You walk in, it's just a room.
Just
you
enough
go
for a
to
bed.
the left, there's a bed, right's a bed, and the bathroom. I mean, it truly is tiny. And you know, when it's 27,000 pesos, it's and up from there, definitely up into the 30s. It's relatively expensive, but it is nice just if you're going somewhere just to be able to go out, close the door, you know, lock
Not
it
have
and
to
go.
worry about
Yeah,
anything.
you don't have to worry about it.
We don't have too much worry for crime down here. In Dumaguete, there's again so many expats, and they're not like you're bumping into everyone, but we can sit here on the bench, and we'll probably in an hour we'll count 6 or 7 that'll come by.
Yeah.
There's quite a few. But have you noticed like the food price difference from Dumaguete where you eat out and the choices of food compared to like an Iloilo?
Well, you know, Iloilo's about, you know, 3 or 4 times bigger than Dumaguete, but because there's so many expats here, there's a whole bunch of restaurants because it's geared, you know, for people on holiday coming from multiple countries, and also the expats that are here. So there's a wider range of fast food type of things in the malls there, your Wendy's and your Burger King and those type of things.
They have a Wendy's?
They have a Wendy's, yeah.
I'm missing the double
And
cheeseburger. I've never had
King,
one.
and
Oh
yeah.
my God.
No Taco Bell,
No
but
Taco
you know, you got some of the other good stuff. But as far as like fine dining and things, now it's picking up because that new area, and they're just adding, you know, more of the sushi and the Thai, and I saw it's like a Turkish restaurant and the things like that are popping up in Iloilo. But we are spoiled for a decent, I think here there's a decent number of good restaurants
Good
for a
places to eat.
city this population. There's some good spots to be able to eat here.
I find the rent to be, if you want a nice little house, fully furnished, you're going to be spending between $400 to $600 US. The Western style with a nice shower, with hot water and appliances, TV, cable, you know, cable television, that fiber optic for your internet. So if half your rent at $400 or $500 is for a nice place to live, I don't see how you can survive on that other $300 or $400 a month. That $800 really strikes my nerve when I hear that.
You know, I wouldn't want to recommend, you know, someone that, like, people ask us all the time, right? Every single day, what can I live here for? And my Social Security and my pension is this. Can I make it? You know, and so the first question I usually ask is, where are you trying to go? You know, are you trying to live in Metro Manila? No, you can't do that in Metro Manila. I mean, at least not in a place that's safe and you want to eat. You could, you know, live.
A lot of it's location, you know, as you say. And in the province, I don't consider Dumaguete, Valencia the province. Some people do because it's a small town. But to live out in a real province, I don't know if people want to live there, you know, where you take a shower outside in a bucket and, you know, they kill their food that day. It's not existing a retirement life that I've worked my whole life for to have. At that price. Now, I hope we're in agreement on this one. If you are making a budget of $800,000, I hope your income is far greater than that. It's all right to try to live on that, but you need that access to the money.
Yeah, I think one of the things that is misinterpreted sometimes when people talk about their budget is that it's not necessarily that's what we're making on a monthly basis and we're spending every penny. Let's say my budget, I've changed it to $2,000. Well, that's not what I make in a month. I just want to make sure I have enough, you know, because I'm not to my 401k and I'm not to Social Security yet. So I've got I've got 6 years to get there. So I want to protect those funds. And, you know, as we age, having worked in hospitals for 25 years, I see some horror stories on people's bills, you know, when they have some diseases or accidents. So I just want to make sure there's plenty of money put aside, you know, for that rainy day or for the emergent things, or return to the West. And I think it's a scary proposition if you're living on 800 because that's it, that's what you have, and there's nothing else. There's not any way to get back home. There's no way to pay for your...
Yeah,
okay.
Some guys will say, I can live a better life here on my small amount of money. And chances are you can.
Yeah.
But the thing is, there's no services here. There's no social service. You can't go get a free dinner. You can't go to the food bank and get groceries for the week. Help pay your utility bill, help pay your rent. When you're here, you're on your own.
Yeah.
And the goodness of anybody you meet. And if you came here, I'm going to assume you didn't want to be a burden to your family with a small income. So don't come here to be a burden on other expats. As generous as we can be, helping somebody out that needs help, when you run out of money, not too many friends.
Yeah.
Not too many friends here. Now, on your channel, you talk about a lot of different subjects, and you're in the medical field. Let's touch on healthcare just for a moment here. In Dumaguete, have you been to any of the hospitals? Have you looked at them or seen the services they offer?
I have, yeah. I've been to 3 different hospitals, and purely just one for an interview of a physician. And when I worked in hospital administration in Alabang in Manila, one of the partner hospitals here was Silomon. So I've been in Silomon a couple different times, and I actually would give it a pretty good recommendation. I mean, I know it online, it takes its lumps periodically from the expats, but I would, you know, I probably would only pick 6 to 7 hospitals in all the Philippines to be treated in. 3 of them, which would be, you know, in Metro Manila, being Makati Medical, Asian Hospital in Ayala, and St. Luke's. And outside of that, you know, I would look to, you know, CEBU for one of the hospitals, maybe Silomon here. Subic has a couple nice hospitals in northern Luzon. Davao City has a good hospital. So you really, there are certain areas, I think, in the medical field, advanced oncology, cardiology, neuro, orthopedic services, where you want to be really careful where you select to have those services completed. It's critical you pick the right physician and the right hospital. So if I fall down and hurt something, you know, or I have a respiratory, you know, illness, or I need to see family practice, I'd go to Silomon without any question. I really would.
I heard Silomon has like a wellness check for about less than $200 US.
Yeah.
Where they check you out. Have you heard about that?
Yes, they do, and it's really a full gamut of services. You know, they'll even do the heart scan that checks the plaque level in your arteries. They'll spin around you with the magnet and be able to give exactly, you know, some of your risk factors cardiovascularly. But in addition to that, you know, you get the full gamut of x-rays and radiology and a blood draw, you know, and just your wellness check. And for peace of mind, you know, and they move you right through, you know, so it's not like it's, you know, an all-day process. You go from the blood draw, you know, to the family practice doc, to radiology. They move you through. And, you know, it's designed, I think, really for the expat or the mid to wealthy Filipino that's here.
And I also heard you get a nice consultation with the doctor to go over the results at the end. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true now. In the case of a couple of my friends that have been through that process, it actually was the same day. So, you know, even in the US, when you have radiology, you know, it can sit there and need to be dictated, and then the radiologist takes a look at it, he dictates it, and then it has to go on electronically for the family practice doc to be able to see it, to even give you the results. Here, they do it quite a bit differently, and it's so odd because everything else in the Philippines is not like that, as like a tortoise, you know, but here the medical, you know, if I went in right now and I had a cardiovascular issue and I needed a family practice doc, I could get the family practice doc.
That day?
I could get a reference to see the cardiologist, and if not that day, the next day, I could see a cardiologist. Good luck with that in Canada or the US.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
During the COVID, you couldn't even get into emergency rooms
Yeah.
for anything. Now, so Silliman, being that you're praising it as being a good hospital, I think the hard part of being in the Philippines is not the hospital. It's getting to the hospital when you have an event. If you live way out, you know, you want to live cheap and you're living way out of town, how are you going to get in the middle of the night? You're going to get from where you're living to the Silliman or any other hospital. You know, the event could be over by the time you get there.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I think back to that unfortunate situation that just happened in Pamplona, which is, you know, over an hour and 20 minutes away. All those individuals that were injured by gunfire there with the governor, they were all transported, all of them here to Dumaguete City from there. So you basically have critical ambulance services in a critical state with multiple gunshot wounds being transported by ambulance for an hour and 10 or an hour and 15 minutes.
And they got the full gamut of the police and army helping them to get here.
Yeah.
Me and you, we're just
That's
that
right.
trike driver.
We're stuck in the back
of
of a trike, you know, trying to get for that kind of event. So, you know, you never want to think you're going to be a victim of some cardiovascular event or some emergent situation. But as we're in our 60s and 70s and either 80s, if you're choosing to live in Amlin, you know, across the way, or in, you know, Tan High or San Jose, or even Dowan Way, which is well down there.
all the way to,
you know,
Iowa, there's no hospitals all the way down.
That's it. And so that's you know, if you have a stroke, time is absolutely of the essence to be able to have those initial treatments. And, you know, if it's 30, 40, 50 minutes or more to the hospital, you put yourself at risk. So yes, you can do the $1,000, but if you have the medical issues, that's something you need to be concerned about.
When you pick a place to live, not only look at the price and how much money you can afford, you got to look at your own physical health. You know, me, I'm 68, I'm overweight, you know, higher cholesterol than I should have. I need to be close to the hospitals. So I need to pay more. I can't live in a province. It wouldn't be fair to my partner for her to live way out there, and her responsibility to take care of me day after day, and knowing she'll never get me to the hospital in time. So choose where you live. Close to the medical services you need is as important as the price of where you can live and the cost of living in that area, if not more, because you're dealing with your life.
Absolutely, that's
Your
right.
life. So have you heard of Ace Hospital?
Sure.
Is that one? You know, it's under Silliman, but it's still a good hospital, isn't it?
Yeah. I think for any of those, I would just say, dependent on the specialty, right? If I can go see a doctor and I'm comfortable with what they recommend to me and the treatment plan and the medications, and I can get the medications, I'm comfortable. If it's something critical to me, I want someone to be board certified. I don't want it to be the 3rd time they're doing the procedure. I want it to be the 300th time or the 1,000th
You
time.
think you don't want a mechanic changing your brakes? That's the first brake job he ever did. Think of a guy working on your ticker.
That's exactly right. I want someone that does the scopes all day, you know, someone that knows exactly what's going on, maybe even a cardiovascular surgeon doing some of the you know, traditional cardiology type of services. I just think there's some things you should be willing to pay for and should have set yourself up in life to be able to do.
Only you guys know your physical condition, your family history, and while you're in the States, and we're going to change the subject, but while you're in the States, go see these doctors, go get as many tests done as you can through your insurance policy, through Medicare. If you haven't had that colonoscopy in a certain amount of time, go get that done, get a stress test on your heart. Know what your physical condition is prior to coming here, and assume the risk. If you know it's bad, but you want to be here anyway, that's great. It's your life. Enjoy it, but know the risk that you're going to be taking. You're in Dumaguete. You've been here for how long now?
7 months.
7 months, and he started his YouTube channel right away. It's full of information. He doesn't do like he doesn't clown around with Janet like I do. He has a serious partner in his life, but all of the information you give, you do a lot of research. It isn't like just talking off the top of your head to fill airtime. You have a lot of research in your work. It seems like a lot of in-depth. Not every video. Some are fun, but anything that Paul says on his YouTube channel, and it's a fact, and it's something serious. I know he does the homework. You know, I know he does his homework, and you guys should watch his channel and learn from it, enjoy it, and watch mine first, of course.
Yeah, of course.
And then when you're done with mine, click over to his. I'll leave a link in the description to check out his channel. I'm sure most of you are already subscribers to both of our channels, but I just wanted to show you how knowledgeable this guy is. He knows what he's talking about. He's a fun guy to hang around. He photobombs all my videos. He sees me here, he'll come run behind. Hey, Janet, as he runs by,
I do.
Trying to get screen time.
I do.
Yeah. So, in Dumaguete, before we sign off here, if you were just getting off the boat, just getting off the ferry, where would you go stay for the first week? If you had to pick one hotel, one condo, one area of town, where would you stay?
Well, I like right across the street here, the Bethel Hotel. I like the Sierra Hotel. I think that's nice. I stayed in Southview, the hotel there. I booked 7 days to start and I couldn't find a place, so I got, I think, 3 additional one-day stays, so like 10 days before I find something. My friends, the only thing I would recommend not doing that some of my friends say they wish they hadn't is get an Airbnb for like 30 days. Because invariably they either find some place before then, or they don't like the Airbnb and they want to change, and they're even dislike it enough they give up some of the days that they've already paid for. So I would recommend, a 7-day maybe Airbnb, or 4 or 5 days in the hotel, and sort of figure out, get as close to like the boulevard maybe as you can, because then you have the downtown, get to the mall easy, you have this area to see all the expatriates, all the coffee shops are here to find out. And so that's what I did. I didn't know, because Sheila was from Tanhai and I hadn't been here, so I just got online and picked a hotel. And that hotel is such that you really need to take your trike, both ways coming in.
Yeah, it's a little bit down the road.
If I had to do it different, I'd pick one of these ones that are right along here. Just walk, and those guys seem much happier. Although that hotel was fine. It had a nice breakfast and Wi-Fi and nice soft bed, good water pressure.
It's not, local public transportation is not for the faint of heart.
Exactly.
If you're a heavy guy like me, and I'm not that heavy. You saw my interview with Michael. He's a big guy. He get in that trike, the trike would have trouble transporting him. He was able to adapt, be in walking distance, and then feel where you want to go, and then head that way. If it's the beaches, go south. If it's the mountains, go west, and enjoy what you enjoy. Well, again, thanks for being on the show. Anything you want to share with anybody about your channel before we go?
No, I appreciate it, guys. Subscribe to WorldZoom and check it out. Special thanks to Mike's Philippine retirement. Like I said, we started at the same time, so we talk about our channels all the time. It's just
someday he'll invite me on his channel.
It's coming soon. I've never done an interview on mine. 140 videos, and I haven't done that process yet. I've been focused on different things, but I want to, and people are asking, so Mike's gonna be for sure the first.
I have lots of things to sell. We'll get Janet over here. She's the brains of the outfit, as everybody knows, setting up the camera, making sure we're doing good. Thanks for watching. Until next time, like and subscribe.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Damn, no bloopers.
No bloopers.
No bloopers. No. Janet made one for us.
She'll stick her tongue out.
Very good.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Oh my
that
God,
was fun.
that was great.
Yeah.